move the camera.
Sounds good.
No, I like the little no light.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like the little no light.
Okay.
Are we live? Yeah.
Jack's face is priceless. They can see us already.
Are we live?
God.
Jack's face is priceless. They can see us already live.
Yeah, God. You're in it.
You're ours in there. Are we live?
Yeah. You're in it.
You're
Maybe you
ours
should.
in there.
Maybe I should move over this way.
No,
Maybe
you move towards me. I should
I'm
move
gone.
this way a bit more.
Maybe I should move over this way.
No,
I'll move this.
you move towards me.
I'm gone.
Why am I?
Whoa!
Always in the centre. Why am I?
Whoa! No, that's done it the whole thing wrong.
What's wrong?
We've gone wrong there. No, that's done it the whole thing wrong. Move him the back.
What's wrong? Move that
We've
back.
gone wrong there.
Oh,
Look, there we go.
Move
There we
him
go.
the
And now,
right.
and now,
Move that back. Move that
yeah.
a little bit.
Move
Oh,
this.
There we go.
There we go. And now,
Right.
and now that.
A little bit.
Move this.
Oh! There we go.
Now that looks like a live
You're a
stream.
bit
to
dark.
me.
You're a little bit dark though.
Oh! Anyway. Now that looks like a live
You're a
stream
bit
to
dark.
me.
You're a little bit
I like
dark.
that.
I like that. It looks like a little bit of a moon. Soul's dark.
I like that.
I like that. It looks like a little bit of a moon. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Does this work?
We tried to.
Hello, everybody. Okay.
Hello. Thank you.
We tried to plan.
All right, let's read some names out.
Okay, we're terribly sorry. Traffic in
Thank you.
Toronto was
All right, let's read some names
awful.
out.
We're terribly
Took us a while
sorry.
to get back.
Traffic in Toronto was
Very sorry.
awful.
Took us a while to get back.
Who have we got in the chat?
Who have we got in the
Very
chat?
sorry.
Just squished together. Kitty
got in the
Sparkler
chat?
says. Who have we got in the chat? Just squished
Look at
together.
their hair. I love
Kitty
it.
Sparkler
Like
says.
that.
Look at their hair.
What's up with her hair? Look at
wrong
their
with
hair. I love it. So it's a windy day.
Look at their hair.
What's up with her hair?
Swept. What's wrong with that?
Interesting.
It's a windy day. Welcome back.
Windswept.
You want to do some?
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like we should.
Find some
I
music.
feel like we should get some
You want to do some
Creepy
yeah,
music.
I feel like we should.
Might find some music.
Awkward
we should get
emoth. Emoth.
Creepy
Is
music.
that like the pluralistic sense of
Awkward
emoth?
Emoth?
The emoth
Awkward
cometh.
emoth.
Is that like the pluralistic sense of emo?
Emoth.
The
Anyway,
emoth
they said that
cometh.
the audio isn't
cometh,
synced.
but I'm
The
not-
emoth is common. Audio isn't synced.
Anyway, they said that
boy,
the
Let's
audio
Play
is
Minecraft
synced.
says, I'm hearing it twice.
Audio isn't synced.
Oh. Our boy Let's Play
Hearing double.
Minecraft says, I'm hearing it. Holler at
Okay,
me.
how's that?
How's this?
How's this?
How's that?
Is that better?
Is this much better?
Is this better? First person who says it's better wins something. I really
I'm also hearing double.
Someone, please.
Creepy. Someone just said, oh, the sound is echoing.
I just turned off the. Come on.
Please.
Anyone?
Is it better? Creepy
now?
Echoes. Creepy Echoes is a great band
Better.
name.
Someone said better.
Arrowhead Whitey. Yes, better.
Okay.
Megan Hutchison. Sally Sue. Wow, yeah. Eloise Williamson. XO Jimmy. Yeah. Andy B. Better. Is this a glitch in the Matrix? Says Emily Graham.
Right. So let's. Now that we're in the live stream, should we start planning the live stream?
Yeah. We're terribly sorry, guys. We've been wanting to do a live stream for ages.
To be honest, I don't think our viewers would expect anything other than a sort of very casual.
It's very
together.
casual. This is very casual.
They've seen us waffle a lot.
Everyone's spamming better. Better now. Better now.
I was going to play that now.
Oh, you're gonna play?
No, we'll get taken off if we play Post Malone. Does everything else sound okay? Do we look okay? Is everything else all right? Please let me know.
Please let us know. Emma Blackwood says, "What are you drinking, Jack?" Can we say that without getting some kind of copyright strike?
Well, I don't know. Cowbell. They're very hot on people.
Drinking Cowbell, which is a brewery from Blythe in Ontario. Which is that a shout out? Rep it. Also got a button.
Still gonna wrap it.
I actually have a button that was gifted to me by a very special person to Cowbell Brewery.
How's this sound?
Queen Bee says, hello, Jack and Danny. Need a shout out so I can go to sleep, have work tomorrow. Queen Bee, you are a fantastic person. Thank you so much for all the support that you constantly give us on all of our videos. It means a lot to us. I know it's late in the UK, but this is your shout out. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen Bee. Yeah, she's been on every single video.
Every single video. Queen Bee has literally been on every single video, and it's so nice. As to like everyone, we kind of want to do that tenfold to all.
Exactly.
I feel like the first thing that perhaps we should talk about is the fact that since our last live stream,
Which was on my channel.
which is on your channel.
Yeah.
Which, so for those of you that don't know, we always streamed on Danny's channel, his incredible channel, which he delivers some fantastic content that you should check out. Because Danny had a boatload of subscribers, and we were kind of, working our way up, fighting through the ranks of the algorithm. And we always thought it'd be better to use Danny's to kind of give us a platform. But since then, things have gone a bit crazy, guys. We honestly didn't expect any of this, did we?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, like, I think we were sort of saying, oh, if we reach how many subs, we were saying, like, can you imagine getting like 5,000 by the end of the summer or something like that?
Yeah, I think our kind of framework was like, if we had 5,000 by maybe the end of like July, September, like July would be incredible. But like, we were kind of like, September is, if we're on that track, we're on a good track, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we hit 5K like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to know, like, how, like, can everyone in the chat watching now just let us know, when did you subscribe to the channel? Like,
yeah, that would be a good shout, actually.
Yeah. Someone said, "Is Danny
high?" Danny's always like this.
We're lagging a bit, apparently. It's our new internet.
So yeah, also another reason why we've been holding off on the live stream is because we have new internet,
which apparently is lagging a little bit. It looks okay for a bit. I mean, if it gets really bad, do you think it's the door? Do you think it's the door being closed? Should I open the door?
No. Danny, you know that Wi-Fi.
But look how many bars it is.
Really? Do you think?
It's really low.
Well,
and our old one's really high.
No, it's always that one. I hate our old internet.
All right.
Kitty Sparkler says, this live stream has to last forever since you can't blow out the fire to end it. Can I move this? This is scary music. Okay, so Original Asherella says that she subscribed in the first week. Also, another shout out to you, Original Asherella. You comment on every single video. Thank you so much. You're fantastic. One of the first. Sally Sue says she subscribed at 500 subs. Exo Jimmy, like a month or two before, 2 months ago. Hi, guys. Bugs & Co. says about 3 weeks ago. Wow.
Okay. Wow,
cheers,
nice.
Bugs & Co. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kizu Kanoke 69 says first week.
Did you read out Amber under 1K subs?
Amber Bazzotti says that she subscribes. She
1K
subscribed
subs.
to us under 1K subs. Wow.
Amazing.
See, Megan Hutchins says the door won't affect the Wi-Fi unless it's metal.
It's got a metal door handle, so who knows?
There you go.
Listen, when I have tech problems, I will appeal to anything in the world to try and get it fixed.
This music's really scary.
It is. I think I found the perfect playlist, actually. I think what I typed in this time was scary, atmospheric.
Okay.
Before we were just going for pure scary, so it was like,
It's like
bling,
piano
bling,
scary.
bling, bling, bling,
Yeah.
and it was like too much.
Yeah.
But this is just.
This is nice.
This is nice.
This is nice.
All right.
Okay, so
For those of you
Carla Cox says, sorry, will you guys start uploading more than once a week? Well, actually, Carla Cox, this is actually the first week that we're heading for double uploads. If you haven't noticed, our first upload this week was on a Thursday, which was yesterday. And we have another one coming.
on Sunday, yeah, it's my
Which is
one
the
next. I'm on Sunday. Oops, stroke the mic there. Whoops, sorry. So we're going to be doing 2 every week now, hopefully forever.
Yes.
Thursdays and Sundays. We're going to be doing Thursdays at 4 p.m. and I think Sundays are going to be 12 p.m. I think,
Oh, really?
because people are going to be at home.
Ah, that's better.
Do you know what I mean?
That's probably better.
So we get that sort of,
Yeah.
You guys are probably not like, what do you guys do on a Sunday? Probably just like chilling at home, right? What do you do on a Sunday?
Kind of spend it with you, usually.
So yeah, that's going to be our upload times, and then hopefully in a couple of months, maybe even start doing 3. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But that's the point of these live streams, that we're going to keep talking to you guys and hearing what suits you and what works for you.
we've got quite a few plans, but I think we'll talk about that later on in the live stream, right? I think there's a reason why quite a few people are here, and I think it's to hear a scary story, Dan.
It is the main point. So, if you've been watching any of our videos, you'll know that we always show our email address and ask you guys to send in your original scary stories. And yeah, I don't know where to switch to the internet, to be honest, because it just isn't working. But
Seems. I think we're good.
I don't know. Okay, we'll press on. So we're gonna read out some scary stories now.
That's a good question before we go into that, actually. Shane Hutchinson says, how do you guys edit your videos? Is that always all stock footage or what? That's a great question, Shane. And actually, we have the privilege of working with an incredible editor who goes by the name of Cassie. Hopefully Cassie's watching because she's awesome.
Yeah.
Cassie uses a blend of kind of like found footage and stock footage to kind of like weave her way around her story. So the way that we always wanted to approach it was that kind of everyone has a creative input, whereas Danny and I both creatively kind of approach these stories from our own minds. We also wanted someone like Cassie who fills that role.
Okay, for the camera, I just realised we're shaking the
we're
table a bit.
Sorry, shaking table. Cassie almost acts as like a third lens to the story. So whereas if I tell Danny a story, he has a perception, I have my own perception. Cassie kind of reciprocates it through the visual medium, which is fantastic. And in many ways, I kind of feel like three of us are having a conversation, and Cassie's that person. So that's a great question, Shane. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Should we get into some scary stories now?
Yes.
Have you taken a look at any?
Yes, there are
your interest?
so many. There are so many.
Okay.
So let me There's one that I really wanted to read out.
Okay, you can.
No. I feel like you should go first.
No. You do that one first.
You need to go first. Hold on. Can't detach again.
Who do you guys want to go first?
Hold on. This is good. This one's really good, actually. Actually, I remember this one.
Remember this one?
Just gotta make sure it's not too long.
This is all just side notes. It ends there.
Oh wait, no. Oh, no, this is the continued version. That's why it doesn't make sense. Wait. No. Do I use this one?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Okay. All right. So who's this from, first of all?
This is from our good man, Matthew Richard.
This is from our subscriber, Matthew Richard, who sent this story in.
I should click the right one.
On March 31st. This one here?
The second one. Yeah.
Okay. And it's called Fatal Loop. Hope you guys are ready. Blackness. Flash red. Flash white. What is that? Flash red. Flash white. What the hell? Flash red. Flash white. What? Piercing high-pitched whine fades to alarm clock. Fucking hell, 6 a.m. already. He yawns as he reaches over to turn off the alarm and looks at the clock that reads 6:45 a.m. and jumps up in a panic. A second later, he recoils in pain from a throbbing headache. He rubs his forehead as he rushes around the apartment to get ready for work. No time for coffee, even. Yep. It's Monday, he thinks as he leaves the apartment. A moment later, he arrives at his bus stop and sits down. It's the first time he's had a moment to just sit and collect his thoughts. He can't shake the memory of a red and white flash, or the feeling that something is just off this morning. The bus arrives. He gets on, settles in, and zones out. Bright flash of light. What? Where was I? He thinks in a shock. He looks up and notices a light bouncing off another passenger's watch face. He doesn't know why, but he makes a note that this passenger has a very distinctive birthmark just below his left eye. The bus calls out his stop, and he gets off and walks the block to the office he works at. 8:05 a.m. Just made it. Hopefully no one upstairs is here yet, he tells himself as he punches in. He gets to the dark mail room he has worked in for almost 5 years now. It lets him keep to himself. No one expects too much of him. Comes with little surprise or change, and it's safe. Just how he likes it. The day goes by, business as usual, but his headache just doesn't seem to be letting up at all. He looks forward to getting home and relaxing. After work, he takes his time walking from the office to the bus stop, hoping the air will do him good. But as he gets close to his stop, there is a familiar, blinding flash of light. He looks up, and sure enough, it's the same guy with the birthmark standing at the bus stop. He chuckles to himself over the coincidence, but thinks nothing of it. He's in the business district, and lots of people commute after all. Before he knows what is happening, the man with the birthmark goes limp and falls into the road, just as a cab is passing the stop. There is nothing he can do but watch it happen as the man with the birthmark's body is rolled over by the cab. No way for the driver to stop, no way for anyone to pull him up in time. Later, as he is with the police officer who identified himself as Officer Din, who is taking his statement, his mind couldn't help but wander from the present to back at the bus stop a few hours before. In considerable pain from the headache, now topped up with shock and confusion, he starts slowly, though it sounded almost like another person talking. It was their words coming from him. Their voice is almost a voice he does not recognize as his own. I didn't really see much. I was just walking towards a stop for the bus. I happened to look up and see the guy. He just kind of fainted into the street. I heard the cab come to a stop and a few people around me scream, and then he was dead. And that was about it. Officer Din thanked him for his statement, and he was on his way home after what he considered to be probably the worst Monday of his life. By the time he got home, his headache had turned into a headache, a fever, and chills. He undressed and went straight to bed, skipping dinner and just hoping he would feel better after some sleep. Darkness. Silence. Distant, irregular, pulsing noises turns into an alarm. Already? Well, at least I'm up on time today, but this damn headache and fever is still going. Great, he groans as he throws back the covers and gets out of bed. He heads into the kitchen to start with his coffee before anything. As he's waiting for the coffee, he opens up his local headlines and he's surprised to see no mention of the accident that happened yesterday. He does his best to put it out of his mind and get on the bus. Once again, he's lost in his own thoughts, and once again he finds himself feeling off. But figures after what happened yesterday, anyone would probably feel off. All of a sudden, he is hit with a bright flash of light that pulls him away from his thoughts. He looks up, and there is the same man with the birthmark he saw get hit yesterday, just sitting in the same spot as yesterday, wearing the same watch on his wrist, just like the day before. He feels himself jump and go cold. He looks down to rub his eyes. No, that can't be him. Look again, he thinks to himself, in a mix of horror and assurance. As he looks back up at the seat, the man with the birthmark is no longer there. He then notices the man with the birthmark, or at least the man he thought was the man with the birthmark, getting off the bus. Okay, dude. You're seeing things. You're overly stressed. There's no way you just saw the same guy. He again assures himself. He gets to the office and his mailroom. A few hours into the day, the headache and fever get worse, and now he starts to feel stiff and achy all over his body. Great. You're getting sick now on top of everything. Alright. You win. Time to head home and take it easy, like I probably should have done in the first place. He thinks to himself as he gathers his things, punches out, and heads for the bus. But something he can't explain suggests perhaps a cab would be a better option for the trip home. It is quicker after all. His cab arrives a few moments later. He gives the driver the directions and decides to rest his eyes. A few seconds later, there is a bright flash of light. He opens his eyes just in time to see the man with the birthmark fall into the road in front of the cab. Again, he finds himself with Officer Din giving a statement, but Officer Din doesn't seem to remember meeting the day before or this exact accident happening already. He debates mentioning it, but this is stressful enough without inexplicable memories no one else seems to have of yesterday. He is not feeling well and watched the same man die twice in the last 2 days. He just wants to get home, so he sticks to basic information in his statement. Again, he starts slowly, and again, he knows they are his words, but it just doesn't sound like his voice. Officer Din takes the statement and sends him on his way home. He feels even worse than he did when he left work, but he is just too tired to worry about going to a doctor tonight. He gets into bed and falls asleep right away. Darkness. Rapid, high-pitched, panicked beeping turns into the sound of an alarm. He wakes slowly and is overcome with lethargy. He feels worse than he can remember feeling in his entire life. His head is splitting. He is shaking violently while in a cold sweat, and it hurts to move an inch. Today he's too sick to ignore how he feels and go into work. He is too sick to even think about the man with the birthmark right now. After what feels like hours, he has got himself dressed and out of the door to head to the nearby walking clinic. He feels awful, but something tells him to walk. A block from his home, as he is walking and looking at his feet, there is another bright flash of light. He stops dead in his tracks. He feels his face go hot. There is no freaking way, he exclaims in horror as he looks up to see the man with the birthmark go limp and fall in front of an oncoming cab. He blacks out. Darkness. Solid, steady, flat tone. And silence. That's it. We need to call this one. Note the time of death. Orders the doctor, with a birthmark below his left eye. He is totally non-responsive now. The doctor continues while turning off his pen light and placing it back in his breast pocket. The accident with the cab caused too much trauma. The room is silent as the nurse pulls the sheet over his face. The only sound that can be heard is someone out in the hall that identifies himself as Officer Din while collecting statement witnesses. He just kind of fainted into the street, the witness says slowly to Officer Din.
That's the end.
I think that's the end.
Matthew will never.
Is there a part 2?
We're stuck in a fatal loop. Matthew.
Matthew, you can't do this to us. Matthew, you in the chat?
Matthew.
I wanted to know.
The
I was engrossed.
Are we in the fatal loop now? Because we know we're part of the chain of
Well,
events.
okay. The doctor at the end had the birthmark.
Yes.
So, what's going
But
on
he
there?
was observing. Oh God.
What's going on there?
What?
Have we missed something? Have we missed something?
Was he watching himself die though? Was it like a Jacob's ladder kind of thing?
He was the guy?
Oh, Matthew, you've got us there, pal. Matthew.
It was whatever was happening to him, the headaches and all that,
Yeah.
eventually caused him to fall in front of the cab. And the last thing a witness says is he just kind of fainted into the street. So it's like passing on the curse, I think.
So, yeah, exactly. So the people that are observing this fatal loop were caught in that fatal loop.
And then you die, and then someone else probably. So this
Yeah,
witness,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like a cyclical story. So this witness saw that,
Is the start.
and then a start.
Genius, Matthew.
That was really good, actually. But I was so waiting for like a
No, same.
sort of standard creepy payoff, but that was great. Jamie says that was good. The flashing light was the doctor trying to see if he was responsive.
There we go. Yes.
Red and white.
Yes. Of
Yes,
course.
we're idiots.
But no. But again, it's the cascade of people who experience this loop.
yeah,
Not just one person. It's the cascade of people who experience the loop.
right. Yeah, and that's why Officer Din couldn't remember anything.
Exactly, because Officer Din is
in the loop.
experiencing the loop. Matthew,
Yeah.
that was very good.
That was good.
That was very good.
You know how sometimes when we do our stories and we sort of jokingly give extra points once we discuss it. He just got about like 3.
Yeah, Matthew,
three
you
whole.
just got like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think of that? Megan
That was
says,
great.
I loved
Oh, actually,
it.
Matthew is in the comments. Matthew Richard, thank you guys, and Danny, you read that amazing. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank
he
you,
did
Matthew.
read it amazing because he reads everything amazing.
Matthew said, Jamie, you got it.
Jamie's got it.
So Jamie
he was
figured
stuck
it
in
out.
a loop of trying to comprehend what happened. Exactly.
I want Matthew and Jamie
yeah.
to write a story now together and send it in.
Good job. That was great,
great.
buddy. Good job. And also, you kind of just surmised exactly what we wanted this channel to be.
Yeah.
Which was just
Well done,
Us all
Matthew.
telling each
Matthew's
other.
in the chat, everyone. Everyone say well done, Matthew. Okay.
everyone give a huge shout out to Matthew because that was great.
Huh?
Oh, are we? Is that not just your laptop there? Oh no.
Could switch.
Okay,
Switch
guys,
Wi-Fi.
are we lagging a lot? Because we could switch internet.
We do have two. We have 2 internet.
We got 2
Because we-
internets, guys. I'm not gonna lie, you know.
So you're like 20 seconds behind.
Oh no, that's normal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's normal.
Yeah, it always delays. It.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it like choppy? Oh, okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, we're good. Good job, Matthew. Hello, Matthew. Yeah, great. Okay.
Yeah, good job, guys. That was fantastic.
What we're gonna do?
Should we do some questions whilst we're in the interlude?
Yeah.
Um,
Anyone got some questions for me and Jack?
yes. Again, we'd like to give a big round of applause to Matthew Richard because that was fantastic, buddy. Thank you so much. Again, we're probably only going to be able to read one more just because you guys tend to send us incredibly long stories, but we have a great backlog of stuff to go through. So,
And we'll do some more questions at the end.
I will do
Watch that.
more questions at the end, of course. Yeah. Everyone
Also,
seems to be.
This music.
Also,
no music anymore.
Actually,
What's this? There we go.
Conspiracy is in the chat. A guy or girl. I don't want to assume their gender, but
Agenda.
but
Soften it.
Conspiracy actually sent us one of the greatest things we've ever seen so far, and it was such an absolute
Are
honor.
they in the chat?
Yes, Conspiracy is in the chat.
Oh my god, let's.
I think it's the same person.
see if I can get it on my
Can we
phone.
get it up? Can we
I'll show it to the.
get it on browser or show it to the camera? Or
Yeah. Hopefully they can see this. Look, so was it
Yes.
conspiracy and then the chat? Hold this up. This is what they made for us. How cool is that? Hopefully you guys can see it. There's a bit of a delay on the stream for us, so I'm just hoping that you guys can see it okay. But like, they made that, and I think it's really cool. I was even thinking about making that our banner. I don't know.
I think we should make it our banner.
Let's see.
Conspiracy says you're going to use my drawing as the thumbnail for the exported video of the stream. Conspiracy is a girl. See, there you go. I did not want to assume
No.
a genre.
A genre.
Genre.
It's a genre now.
Their biological genre.
How cool is that?
Anyway,
Anyway.
yes, there we go.
See, everyone's loving it,
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're in the chat right now. So say thank you, Conspiracy. Oh no, don't say thank you. It's thank you from us. But
Oh no!
Well done.
Huge thank you to Conspiracy
Yeah.
for even and again it kind of bleeds through with everything that we always say about the stuff that you guys send us. Everyone who sent a story to us, even if we don't get time to read it, even if we don't get time to present it as we want to share it, thank you so much. Honestly, anyone who takes the time and the creative spirit to even do something towards this actually means the world to us. Like, so thank you so much.
so Nikki says biological genre. LeMayo.
I'm sorry.
That was amazing.
Oh, we got a quadruple call there. That must be really cool.
Very cool. Okay, any more questions? We haven't seen any, I don't think we've seen any questions.
Well, I think a
Everyone's
few
just
popped
been
up, but that was
nice.
before we did the conspiracy.
Yeah. Have you got any questions you want to know?
Have I got any questions?
Yeah.
What's about life or just
Well, for them. I don't
for
know.
them? What's your? Oh, that's good. What is? Okay, guys. What is your favourite story so far?
That's for us.
No, for them
Oh, that's a good
and
one,
for
yeah.
us. Actually, no, that's good for good for all of us.
Oh, I thought you read that one out. Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, so that's Jack's question to everyone else. But,
Oh, here's a good one actually though.
we're going to answer a question.
Queen Bee
now.
says, Jack, please let me know why do your stories end but actually don't? Also, what does Amanda remember? That's a really good question, actually. And I think it's something that we hit on in our next few videos that Danny and I actually speak quite a lot about. I think Danny's incredible at making like succinct stories A to B. And I'm perhaps a little bit detrimentally to my fact to just tend to leave things a little bit open-ended. And I think perhaps that's because like
I know an answer to this, but I'm going to see. If
you know a better answer than I can.
Well, I don't know. I want to see if it's what you. I know why you.
Yeah, I kind of enjoy fear of not knowing things, and I'd rather know them further. So I think the answer to that is perhaps I think I always try and end things on things that can be revisited. Does that make sense?
Everyone answering. That's so Sorry about swear there. That's so cool. Everyone answering the.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's so cool seeing people read out the
Yeah.
things. That's so nice.
I know what mine is.
I was going to say that I think that Jack is. I feel like you've always been a bit of a novelist at heart.
I'll try to.
Yeah. But you always like you have like a bigger picture, and I think that bleeds through in your short story writing. So I think you do write succinct stories. They always, it's the same way that chapter 1 ends. Chapter 1 could just be read as a great bit of writing,
There you go.
but chapter 1 also leads to chapter 2. So
Yeah, no, I think you're right, dude. I think you always try and approach things with a little bit of a cinematic, not cinematic. That's different word. Big,
yeah,
like a world building thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
The JCU, the Jackson.
The JCU. I can answer what we're answering on here though. Like my favorite story of yours, without a doubt, is the Balkan. I absolutely adored that and still do. Yeah, you were. But also, your story coming up is another.
Yeah,
another one.
It's
Yeah,
my
you haven't
story
seen
next
the next one,
on Sunday.
which comes out Comes out Sunday, so
Yeah. I'm excited for that one too. And the next two are great. We're actually starting to get ahead now, but it's a bit weird.
we
'cause
are.
we
Yeah,
can't
we're,
really-
we're
we
kind of
can't-
in the future.
All right, we'll do one more question then. We can see a good question. I've seen this question a few times, so I think I should read it
Okay.
out. But Danny and Jack, do you believe in spirits / ghosts?
Ooh, great question. Great question.
There you go first.
You know what?
This music getting a bit intense.
Yeah, this music's getting incredibly intense. Like, "Buh, buh, 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 buh. Jack, do you believe in spirits? What we do in the shadows intro? You're dead, dead, dead. I love that song. I wish we could play that song. That's great. If any of you haven't seen the What We Do in the Shadows TV series by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement, you should watch it because it's fantastic. Also the movie as well, but the TV series is really good. Do I believe in spirits? Do I believe in ghosts? Wow, broad question. Yes, I do. I believe in the spirit as an intangible element to what we as humans can perceive. I think that perhaps ghost stories and stories of undeath and life and undeath are a scientific demonstration of something that we don't know anything about.
That's sort of what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I feel like if you asked me when I was younger, I would have said yes.
Yeah.
If you asked me when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I would have said no. And if you asked me now, I would have said I don't know. Which to expand upon I don't know is that I think that's the whole point.
Yes.
I don't even think the fear is from, oh, I know that spirits exist. I think the fear is like, what is going on there? I still get, when someone tells me a ghost story, if someone says to me, nah, you're wrong, like spirits are real, let me tell you a ghost story, I get chills in the back of my neck. But not because I'm like, oh, that's so real. I'm not 100% sure.
Because you don't know if it is.
I don't know. And I don't know what's, I feel like if it's not that, something is causing that. And like, I don't know. And that's what's creepy. That's a really creepy
That's
part.
really good. I think it's Danny and I talk about this quite a lot actually. We talk about why fear is important and why like culturally fear is one of the most intrinsic emotions that we as a species have carried through. Fear teaches people to be wary of things that they don't know. Right? So like kind of the fear, it's in modernity right now it's a little bit difficult to kind of interpret, but back in the day the reason why people stood around fires and told ghost stories was because there are things outside of our sphere of influences that perhaps will kill us. I feel like in a spiritual medium and in terms of like the ephemeral sense of the soul, which is an unexplored thing.
We also spoke about how that sort of intrinsic fear we had generations ago was because we didn't understand the world, so everything was sort of scary and like we don't understand that. But now it's actually the same feeling is amplified because we understand so much. So when something scary does happen, it's even more terrifying.
Nailed it.
We talked about how why is it that parents are so much more wary, even though we do objectively live in a safer world?
Yeah.
You have children now, your children are so much less likely to be in any sort of danger compared to how they were 50, 100 years ago. And yet, look what parents are like now. And it's because we're waiting for stuff to happen, but nothing's happening. So it's amplifying that, you know, and we have this sort of global sense of like, everything is very understood, everything seems fine. What was that?
Yeah.
You know, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, and then whereas before they would have gone like, well, that's just one of the 10 things that happened today that I don't understand. Like, you know,
it just becomes a little bit of a horror story. Yeah.
just, you know.
Oh.
Anyway.
But yes, I think the actual crux of that whole thing is yes, we believe in ghost stories. I think many paranormal experiences can perhaps be attributed to explainable things, but I also feel a lot of them can't, which is, again, to approach that with a rational mind. Yeah, we don't know.
But you know what's interesting is that apart from
That's where the fear lies.
apart from potentially one of the stories that's coming up.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been very grounded in reality. It's very human on human.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. There is a little bit of magic and surrealism, but we've done a fair amount of stories that are just really creepy people doing creepy things. You know, and it's like, I don't know. That's also something that's really scary. Is when it's just, you know, it doesn't have to be supernatural. It can just,
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
That's what I start. I think I sort of did that. You know, you did that with the nanny. I did that with the Uber driver. These are things that like very, very much in our reality right now, and they don't have to be scary with spirits or stuff. They can just be scary by themselves. Yeah.
They say that fear is in the eye of the beholder. So,
Bye, Queen Bee.
bye, Queen Bee. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, shall we do another story?
Yeah, I had one that I really wanted to read out, but I feel like it's too long, perhaps now.
Okay.
So,
I had no idea we got this many.
yo, dude. Yeah, this is the one that I want. This was my. So, there is a story by somebody called Nephthys. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Who sent us a fantastic story about a demonic serial killer, and it is awesome. It is a little bit too long for us to read in this particular live stream, but thank you so much, and know that it's awesome, and we will read it in the future. But just know that it's literally like nearly 7,000 words, so we'll
shelve that for now.
We'll get that. But the next one is a story. We've received quite a few stories from this particular person in question, actually, and ominously enough, a person's name is Mrs. Thomas.
Mrs. Thomas. That's already creepy. Is that the title?
No. That's the person who said.
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Thomas is great. She comments on all of our.
Mrs. Thomas.
Mrs. Thomas is awesome.
Mrs. Thomas is a creepy title, though.
I know, but like, if you called it just Mrs. Thomas, but Mrs. Thomas named this story "The Dream." Can I get a bit before we do?
Yeah. Do you want me to? I'll tell him. Are you alright doing the sound as well? Just click down here and then just mouse wheel, yeah? If you need to, I'll leave it at like halfway and then you just...
Yeah, leave it at halfway. Okay. That's creepy already, dude. Turn it off. Okay, we ready? This is a story called The Dream. I woke up with a bit of a jump. Sitting up, I realized that there are tears coming down my face. That had to be the craziest dream. I guess sometimes a dream is just too real and it can affect you in real life. My husband, Will, who could sleep through a hurricane, he's still out cold. Wiping the tears from my face, I get up. I might as well, since there's no going back to sleep now. That dream shook me up so bad that I didn't really want to go back to sleep anyway. 7:45 a.m. and for me, that's sleeping late, even on a Saturday. I take a deep breath and try to shake it off and start the day. No one else is up yet, the house is still quiet. This is mommy time. I make a cup of cheap cappuccino and go sit on the back deck. It's mid-spring in the foothills of North Carolina, which means the mornings are a little cool but comfortable. We haven't lived in this house long, but I love this place. My home is just right. It has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a laundry room, and a huge kitchen sitting on 3 acres of land that is mostly woods. It's quiet on our side of the mountain except for the birds or occasional dog, usually ours. This may not be everyone's idea of paradise, but it's mine. The sun feels warm on my face. It makes me forget the busy week we've had with work and school and the kids' activities. I close my eyes, soaking it all in, taking a deep breath. My mind ends up going to scenes from that horrible dream. People in hospital gowns with blank faces. Nurses escorting someone who has an obvious mental illness down the hall. It makes me feel very, very sad. I know I've seen this place before. I remember it's the same state mental hospital that my grandmother was in. She had gotten a rare disease that caused brain damage. My grandfather had put her there when he couldn't take care of her. I'd visited a few times before she died when I was a kid. It's been ages since I've been there, but that place still gives me the creeps. Behind me I hear the sliding glass door. It's my 6-year-old son David, still in his pajamas with a big grin and wiping the sleep from those big blue eyes. His hair was almost the colour of the morning sun. He scrolls up onto my lap and kisses my cheek. He's always warm. I kiss the top of his head, taking in the smell of his fruity shampoo he'd washed with the night before. The door opens and closes again. Victoria, my 10-year-old, comes and stands beside us, tall, also in her pajamas. Her hair is darker than David's, but her eyes are just as blue. "Morning, my loves," I say. "Morning, Mummy. What's for breakfast?" Victoria asked. "So much for Mummy time." "What would you like?" "Rainbow pancakes," they answer together. "Sounds good," I reply. "Your grandparents are coming over later for a barbecue. That means that after breakfast we need to straighten up the house." "Yes, ma'am," they answer. We get up and head to the kitchen where I make breakfast. When they finish, they put their dishes into the sink. As I start to wash them, suddenly there's a scream. It's one of pure horror, like from a movie. I rush to check on the kids, thinking that one of them is hurt. When I get to their rooms, they're putting away their books and toys. "You okay, Mum?" my daughter asks. Yeah, I thought I heard one of you scream." "No, we didn't scream," Victoria says. "Not me," adds David. "Okay, well, you guys are doing a great job with your rooms." I walk to my bedroom where Will is finishing getting dressed. Did you hear a scream?" No, dear, I didn't." "You sure?" Yeah, I'm sure," he says as he puts on his belt. "You okay?" he asks, seeing that I'm confused. Yeah, I'm alright. This day seems to get more and more strange and I can't shake this sad feeling I have. Well, I have to go to the store and get a few things for this afternoon. Okay. I'm going to finish cleaning up. I'll see you when you get back. I love you. Whatever, he says with that cockeyed grin that he always gives. I can't help but smile at him. He loves to pick with me like that. For the next hour as I clean, I keep thinking about that dream. Usually, I don't let things get to me like this, but I just can't shake this one. When Mum gets here, I'll talk it over with her. She's always a listening ear. Will returns with the groceries and propane tanks for the grill. My parents pull into the gravel driveway right behind him. Victoria and David run out and tackle them with hugs. My parents have always been there for them. I'm not sure what I would do without this family. A sad feeling comes over me again. Almost to the point that I want to cry. I wish I knew why. Shake it off and go out to meet them. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Hey, hun, my mum says. Hey, Pumpkin. Your petunias look nice out here by the house. My dad's always been the green thumb of the family. Will, did you ever get that leak fixed on the grill? My dad asks. Yeah, it was just a loose clamp. Come keep me company while I get it fired up. Mum, I say. I had the worst and weirdest dream last night. I just can't seem to shake it. It was so real. Mom and I go up to the porch stairs and into the house while the kids play outside with the dog and the men head to the back deck and get the grill ready. Let's start getting the food ready while you tell me all about it. Heading to the kitchen, I start to tell her my dream. It was so crazy. I was in a state mental hospital Grandma was in. The thing was, I wasn't in the family visiting area like when we would used to visit. I was a patient. There were patients going up and down the hall, doctors and nurses too. I was in a square white room wearing a hospital gown, sitting on a metal frame bed. It was cold and overly bright. They do that so they can clean using bleach to kill the germs, my mother said. I know, and the crazy thing is, I can smell that bleach today, at times. My mother looked at me, confused, when I said that. She knew how much I hated bleach and refused to even have it in the house. That's strange, she said. Yeah, I couldn't figure out why I felt like I was there. A couple of the young nurses looked at me as they walked by and started whispering. I remember thinking to myself, the hell is going on? And then an older nurse walked by and stopped her. She said that her name was Debbie and she was glad to see that I was awake and asked how I was doing. I told her I guess I was okay. Then I asked her where I was and she said I was in the state mental hospital. Kind of started freaking out a little bit. Well, that's understandable, my mum chimed in. She was washing the juice off the onions she'd been chopping off of her hands. I could hear the men laughing and telling fishing stories on the back deck. The kids were giggling about something making the dog bark. What happened next? She asked. Of course, I asked her why I was there and where my family was. Mum, the look on her face was pure sadness. Debbie, the nurse, told me that all you guys had died. All of you. I completely lost it and started crying in the dream. But that's when I woke up this morning with tears in my eyes. My eyes started welling up all over again. My mum came over and hugged me. She was good at giving hugs. It's okay, sweet. It was just a dream. We're all here and alive. Sometimes our mind can torment us the most. It's the one thing we can't escape. Then I hug her harder. My heart hurts at the thought of losing only one of you, but to lose all of you is unimaginable. Wiping the tears away, I let go of my mum and tried to compose myself. Oh, no. I forgot the ice. That's okay, Mum. I can run to the store real quick and get some. Well, before you go, help me get the food out to the grill, then get cooking. We pick up the hamburgers, hot dogs and sides and start walking to the back deck. But there it is again. The smell of bleach. This time it was mingled with the smell of flowers, carnations. I've always loved the smell of carnations. You coming? Yes, ma'am, my answer. Outside, my dad and husband were sitting in white plastic chairs. Will got up and opened the sliding glass door for us. You can see the heat waves coming from the heat of the grill. A small breeze blew through. The kids were playing with the dog near my dad's feet. Felt perfect. Thanks, love. You're welcome. Just put the food on the side there, Will said, pointing to a table next to the grill. I'll get cooking these in a minute. I have to go get a bag of ice from the store. I'll be back in a minute, I inform him. I love you. I turn around and give him a kiss. Whatever. He grins at me again and I smile back at him. I love you too, babe, he says. Victoria, David, you kids behave while I'm gone. I'll be back in a minute. I love you. Love you too, Mommy. Go get in my car, drive off. The store is about 5 miles away. Trip shouldn't take long. I get to the store and decide to grab an extra drink while I'm there. Hear almost a strange thud while I'm inside. Considering that I've heard all kinds of weird things today, I try and ignore it. While standing at the cashier, I hear fire trucks start screaming down the road. Whatever happened must have been bad, as there were 3 that went by. I get back in the car and head home. As I get close to the house, I start to feel a little anxious. Then I see smoke in the direction of my house, speeding up. I'm hoping that I'm just overreacting, as Will says that I often do, but as I come around the curve, I see that the fire truck's parked in front of my house. What's going on? Speed up as much as I can, almost hitting one of the trucks due to them having blocked the road. I barely have the car in park and turned off before I'm scrambling out. There is black smoke billowing up from my house. I run past the loud trucks, knocking into one of the firefighters. He screams, but all I can hear is my heart pounding in my ears. He runs up from behind, catches me and holds me back. "That's my house!" I scream. Panic officially sets in. My family's in there. Where are they? Have to get to them. I see nothing but smoke and flames. He says nothing except I'm not allowed to go to the house. I can feel the heat from the fire burning at my face. I can do nothing but cry and worry as my whole life goes up in flames. There's no end to my struggling against the firefighters' hold on me. My family's faces flash in my mind. Their smiles as I left cutting into my heart like a dagger. I'm pressing on his arm so hard. I can feel my ribs start to hurt. "You have to let me go," I yell. His grasp is just too tight for me to break. A moment later, one of the others runs over and tells the one holding me that they found what was left of 4 bodies in the back. He shoots a look, as if to say that it was the wrong time to say that. "I'm sorry," he says. I fall to the ground and scream as tears stream from my face. No. I scream. My chest hurts from the pain of screaming so hard, but then I sit up and look around. There are tears in my eyes. The metal frame presses against my skin. It's cold. I look down and see that the hospital gown is thin. The room is square and white. To my left is a table with a small vase of oddly familiar red carnations. And their smell is mixed with the familiar scent of bleach. An older nurse walks into the room. "Hi, I'm Nurse Debbie. I'm glad to see that you're awake." Woo!
Well read.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Wow. That was obviously scary. But like,
Traumatic.
how well was that written?
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm going to give that person and you a little bit of a backhanded compliment too.
Thanks.
That sounded like, parts of it sounded like how you write.
Oh really?
Especially
Yeah.
the start,
Yeah.
The setup and description, and the family and the relationships and the little details, you know? That was like such a good setup.
Oh, 100%.
But that's why the payoff was so good, because they set up such a real world and then snatch it away from it.
There were many threads that bled through that, which was nice, which was again enjoyable to
You
read.
enjoy that? You
Oh
enjoy
yeah,
reading that?
thank you so much, Mrs. Thomas.
Wow. We got 9 out of so Megan says 9 out of 10 story, 10 out of 10 reading.
Wow. Thanks, man.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, that was I'd like to call it traumatically sad. Again, I think there are so many different levels to that.
You know what I'm thinking? First of all, Shutter Island.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Which is like, Shutter Island is literally one of my favourite. Have any of you guys seen Shutter Island before? Literally one of my favourite.
That moment
movies.
when you realise Shutter Island is such a better film when the first scene is him in a bathroom with shackles on the wall.
Yeah.
Scorsese, dude.
That's why, you know, it's one of those. And again, this story, just like that, will be something like, now you know that. If we were to read this story out again, we're not going to. Sorry, but it's
a long one.
I really admire people who write stories that can be that improve on the second or third
Yes,
hearing.
they have small threads.
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Thomas. Thoroughly enjoyed reading that as well. Yeah. There we go.
Megan says, "Thank you for reading my name correctly."
Well, Megan.
Megan.
Megan Hutchison.
Megan.
I said Megan.
Just slow it down and make sure we don't say Megan. Megan. Black Cat says speechless. Yeah, that was. I think it's just. Yeah, I think traumatic is a great choice of word there. This sort of is what we were talking about before about like sometimes the scariest things are just very human things. You don't need anything particularly mythical. Like that's just.
Exactly. You don't necessarily have to rely on the paranormal or the supernatural to ever deliver a scary result, right? You know, I mean, I think Stephen King quickly mastered that. After
we told him that that's our ultimate goal for this channel.
Well, I haven't actually, but all of you people watching, oh no, one of our most humble goals is I mean, you got to set the bar. You got to set the bar high, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing is like, our channel is currently not monetized yet, so we reached that threshold, so we're awaiting monetization.
Yes,
which hopefully means we can do more things and get better equipment and all that good stuff for you guys.
Which is
so we've sort of that goal's already been hit. So now our only goal is get Stephen King, the greatest horror writer of all time.
I jokingly said to Danny when we first started this channel, I wouldn't be happy unless we had Stephen King on as a guest. So there we go. That's our goal. If you'd like to be part of that journey, know that our goal is to have Stephen King as a guest.
Everyone who can hear this right now, you were there when we set that officially announced that goal. Get Stephen King.
There we go. If you'd like to tweet Stephen King and say, "Listen, guys, haha, no,"
what would the hashtag be? I'm thinking
get
haha oh Stephen, haha oh King.
I feel like there's a joke somewhere with Stephen with a PH.
Oh, that's not about us. We've got to put our own name in there.
We've got to get that.
Okay, let's do some questions. Let's do some questions and answers.
Yes, let's do some Q&As. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for sending your stories, but we only have time for only one each in this particular live stream. Please know the fact that we have a huge backlog of all of your stories, and we will try our hardest to get through them. There are some fantastic ones in there. But yeah, thank you to Mrs. Thomas and
Richard. That's all I know is the first name, Richard.
Richard, yes. Matthew Richard.
Sorry.
Thank you,
I forgot
Matthew.
the surname.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew Richard. Yeah.
Matthew Richard says, Jack, because you talk about Hellraiser in the top 5 videos, I recently decided to watch the whole series and glad I did. Which is your favourite of the 8 Hellraisers? Number 3, Hell on Earth, was mine. Well, actually, Matthew, I've actually only seen the first 3 just because after that franchise got a little bit un-Clive Barker-ish for me. So, no, for the fact that the first 3 are what I consider to be the only 3. Although I heard that 5 was good. And apparently the new one actually had a little bit, although it went straight to video.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a little bit more to it.
Do things still go straight to video? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, dude, so many franchises go straight to video.
By video, do you mean...
Straight to video, like
DVD?
As in, sorry.
Like Netflix?
Sorry, yeah.
That's what I mean is like...
Yes, not aired on cinema. So Chucky before that, the new Chucky is in production coming out now. But the past 2 Chucky films went straight to video. So many. Phantasm, which is another great horror series, but I think the 3 of them were straight to video. Yeah, dude, horror particularly has a penchant for just going straight to video.
But I think that sort of adds to the cult following of it.
Exactly.
Because it's like, you haven't seen this. Oh, no one's seen this.
Exactly. But to answer your question, Matthew Richard, the first Hellraiser, for me anyway, is the best Hellraiser. And I think it was, although he disputes it. I think it was probably the best Clive Barker interpretation which could have ever got. Yeah.
Megan's got a question. And also Megan said before when you were talking that she said, thank you for getting the name right. It's Irish, but everyone gets it wrong in the US.
Okay. So how do they pronounce it in the US? Like Megan?
Megan.
Oh, just Megan.
Megan.
Not Megan.
Megan?
Megan?
No, Megan.
Yeah.
It's Megan and Fuck it, I'm getting thrown off now. Megan and Megan. Yeah. Anyway, she says, what are your favourite books? The ones you can read over and over.
Wow. I think I know what yours is.
Jack's read a lot more books than me. I'm a bit of an uncultured swine.
I think I could pick 2 of yours. Actually, I think I can pick the 2 that I know.
Well, I've only read 3. I've only ever read 3 books. So.
Well, it's,
Danny's. I know. I love synopsis.
also, Danny did a degree in English.
Yeah. Thank you, Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. Can I give Cliff Notes? Yeah.
But it's Cloud Atlas and Room.
No, actually.
Oh, okay.
No.
Cloud
I'd
Atlas,
say,
definitely.
No,
Hitchhiker's
Cloud
Guide to the
Atlas
Galaxy.
would probably be one. Probably Going Postal, Terry Pratchett.
Oh, nice.
It's a great
I was going to say Pratchett as like, but I consider those like series.
But that particular story,
Okay.
I remember as a teenager.
That is a great story.
I read Going Postal like so many times. Like, talk about succinct stories that are within a bigger world, but are like,
Yes.
that what a great story.
And
like,
Pratchett is the master of that.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, you're gonna be a lot better to answer this question.
No,
You've not read as much in the past couple of years, I think, but you used to
it's
read
been
a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
You've read most of the classics, right?
Yeah. I hope so. But it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, was the question just...
Great Expectations. That was a great book.
Great book, yeah. But I mean, you can go all along there. Well, I think there are certain merits to Dickensian novels. There's certain merits to them, like, you know, like Finnegan's Wake, I would consider to be one of my favourite books, but post 1800, it's like where do you draw the line, right?
You quite like George Orwell stuff.
I love 1984, Animal Farm. I love Aldous Huxley. I love Brave New World. They're all great novels, but I'm like, you know what? This might be a curveball.
Song of Ice and Fire.
I think that George R.R. Martin's The Song of Ice and Fire
is
the greatest story ever told.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that might be a controversial statement, but I actually think that George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire...
And it had to be distinct there, but separating from the TV show. The TV show is great.
TV show is fantastic.
It's possibly the best adaptation I've ever seen.
100%.
Even though I haven't read the books. But
100%.
But if you always say that if you read the story, it's like black and white. It's like day and night. It's
100%.
Like, yeah.
I think A Song of Ice and Fire is perhaps the greatest story ever told.
Which is interesting.
It's a bold statement, but yeah.
Which there are some times when adaptations can be a detriment to the original novel. People see it, and the biggest one of that is I genuinely think it's people roll their eyes and they think, oh, okay. But the Lord of the Rings as a story, but the movies have sort of overshadowed it. So people are like, oh, I didn't like that one scene, or I didn't like this character, so therefore the Lord of the Rings as a thing.
Bullshit. Anyone that ever has anything to say about Peter Jackson's adaptation of The Lord of the Rings needs to reassess themselves, because no director...
What I'm saying is people might think they can judge the books or whatever. Like the books, I remember reading the books as a teenager, and like, you know, I remember like we were talking. Jack was writing something a while back, and you were like really focusing on the first chapter and like how to open it, and you had like a really clear idea set up of like all the relationships between the different groups in this story. It was like an old style novel, and I said like the way that Lord of the Rings starts, like think of all the stuff that's in Lord of the Rings, but it's literally like, well, the Hobbit starts with...
Well, how does the Hobbit start?
Yeah,
exactly.
Like
no,
in
I remember you saying
there
that.
lived a Hobbit.
I remember you saying
and
that.
think of all of the mythos that came from that.
Exactly.
Like, and that's what it's just such a beautiful story. Like.
Again, and I think it bleeds into why a lot of you guys enjoy watching this channel and stuff, and talking about kind of mythology and folklore and and cautionary tales from culture, it's because like these things are important. Oral tradition is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And particularly
oral
something
hygiene.
and oral hygiene is
yeah,
equally important.
carry on.
But particularly something like Lord of the Rings, you know, use that as a great example because sagas, horror probably gets a little bit of a. There aren't many horror series that kind of carry the weight. That
Are there any like horror series? Oh, that's good.
Oh,
Looks healthy.
are we back? Hello. Conspiracy set. If you're using OBS, try switching between your sources: game display, window display, etc.
It's just like fluctuating. I know what to do. I've tried like both internets now.
That looks sick when the fucking vape comes down and like rolls across.
That's the spirit, mate. That's the spirit.
It does look sick though. Look at this. Watch. That rolls across. It's like so fucking atmospheric. I feel like we're in a fucking movie.
Next story.
Yeah. There's not a lot we can do really, is there? Can we go live on our phones and be like, yo?
That'd be a separate live stream. I don't think we can just jump into this one.
Oh, kind of like.
No. Probably just call it. I don't know what to do. And by the time I figure out what's going on, like, there's no point.